Ship 36 just blew up.
Oh my god.
Flight directors go for flight. Ignition. 2, 1. We have liftoff. Booster engine cut off. Ship engine cut off.
So about those launch dates, I think that may delay a bit.
We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Traveling up. Roger, roger, planet.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FT off. Bring in FT off. It's orange!
Orange 25! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Look at this!
Put that in the big bag, Tingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
There's nothing to be igniting flare, correct? Ship 36 just blew up.
Yikes. Keep that. Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Yeah, this is NSF Mission Control. We are making sure your coffee ingestion is nominal here this month. Oh, hey guys. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? We have attempt 3 for Starship Flight 10 here happening. And this is the Stakeout stream. What's going on, everybody? I am EJ, your host with the most for the first half of this stream. I'm the master of ceremonies. They put me in charge again. I'm not sure exactly why, but they did. They did. Hopefully you guys all got your coffee here today, and hopefully wait, I'm going to do it. My competent cohort of co-hosts also have coffee. We also have Adrian with us. Adrian, are you out there?
I am out here, once again looking at Starship for the next 9 hours. We are not slowing down here, EJ. Starship just gives us more excitement. It's more days, it's more excitement. So I'm just looking forward to... I will already spoil this. Talk a bit about the weather here, because look at this.
Is this Vandenberg? Is this a Vandenberg here? Or... Oh.
So it's a thing called rain.
The water starts falling from the sky? When did they start doing this?
The good thing is, if it falls from the sky, it might not be in the sky anymore when it's launch time. So that's my hope, at least.
That's a very good point.
4 billion years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, speaking of 4 billion years, Ryan Weber is here.
Wait, what?
I don't know. It felt right. It felt right to say. Ryan Weber's always here with me and Adrian. Ryan, how you doing?
I got my my awesome coffee. I'm ready to go. It feels like Groundhog Day. Once more into the breach, dear friends. We're third attempt. Can it launch today? I mean, I'm not going to be not say anything. Covering Starship is a whole lot of fun, but there comes a point at which I want the rocket to fly rather than sit on the ground. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. Believe me. And then bringing up the production here is map enthusiast, spaceflight enthusiast, cartographer extraordinaire, Mr. Ryan Caton. Ryan Caton on production. Ryan, thank you for doing the production today and dealing with me being the host. I'm sure that's very fun for you.
He will handle.
He'll handle it. All right. So you guys know the drill. This is a Stakeout stream. We are a little bit under 9 hours. The time right now is reading 8 hours 54 minutes to launch, hopefully, of Flight 10 here. That's a shot of the stack sitting out on that this pad at Boca Chica. The pad A is this pad for me. That pad is the other one that's to the to the west of it.
I refer to them, EJ, as Pad North and Pad South. Because that's I love that because technically Pad 1 is a bit more north. I think. No, it's more south. Sorry. Pad 2 is north. Pad 1 is south. So technically you could refer to them as north and south.
But I like this pad and that pad. This pad is Pad A, that pad is Pad B, and then the pad at 39A is the other pad. So this pad, that pad, and the other pad.
This is
like that.
this is suborbital Pad A, and then you got orbital Pad B. Hey Ryan.
I wonder if Ryan knows that he is hot miking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Swing to your left. Swing to your right. Hey, you got it right.
We're all waking up here, so
yeah, that's why I asked if coffee ingestion was green. That was the first thing. Can you confirm coffee topping off is complete? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I don't think they can hear that, but we can, so that makes us look really weird. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, we just heard a voice in our head that we acknowledged that they couldn't hear.
I swear we don't have voices in our heads. I swear.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I hear Kevin. Sometimes I hear Kevin in my ears, like suddenly. Even if I'm not on stream, sometimes just Kevin starts to talk with me.
Really?
Chris, commentary.exe is crashed.
Yep. Task failed successfully. Would you like to reboot?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So you guys know the drill here. You can ask us questions tagging at NASA Space Flight. We will get through the support queue. I refuse to have the support queue fill up on my watch. That is unacceptable in my mind. And as always, we're here to just chill and we're here to have some fun talking about rockets, teaching people about rockets, and hopefully, watching the clouds go by. And hopefully they do, because yesterday we had that darn anvil cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to say the word. Let's just say they canceled the launch yesterday. All right, they canceled the launch yesterday, going right to the end of the window because there were anvil clouds in the area. Now, what does that mean? That means the really quick and dirty explanation for that is that lightning. You have charged clouds in the area. There's lightning. You do not want to launch the rocket into a scenario where it becomes a lightning rod. That is in fact bad for it. NASA learned that very well on Apollo 12. Ryan, do you know what I'm talking about?
SCE docs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you'd never want to put the rocket into a scenario where it's going to get struck by lightning. Now, could it be okay? Yeah, that's possible. It's possible that it could be okay, but do you want to take the chance on a test flight? Now, Adrian, maybe you can commentate more on this here. Now, I saw a lot of people. I was browsing around on social media. Probably shouldn't have done it as much as I did yesterday because that makes your brain go. All right.
Yes.
But I was browsing around on social media and I saw a lot of people say it can't even launch in the rain. It can't even launch in the rain. What the heck's that about? Why is SpaceX, this rocket's supposed to launch every hour or so? Why would they be worried about it this time around, Adrian?
I mean, they're working on this test flight for how many months now? A year now, basically, getting these prototypes together. Of course, they launch next to that other test flights, but it's a lot of work. And we are only talking about the 10th flight here. Now, now imagine the 10th flight of a new plane. For example, would that already be equipped to handle every single weather scenario? Would you risk it there? Probably not. You don't understand the vehicle fully well yet, right? You don't understand the limitations yet. You didn't want to test that yet. And you don't want to risk gathering all that precious data because you flew through a cloud. Like, we see these clouds there. Right now, if they launch where it would be right now, through these clouds, there's no way they could launch. That's basically the definition of you don't want to launch through this. And that's what they're doing here right now. So, will Starship be able in the future to handle more storms, more anvil clouds, more potentially lightning? Yes, I think so. They will at some point expand the capabilities. They will think about how to avoid these things. But is that a priority you want to take on Starship Flight 10? I don't think so. That's not their critical issue here, EJ.
Yeah, you really want those ideal conditions. You do not want what you actually see on the screen there. You don't want to fly into that, especially if you're testing it. It's not that Starship wouldn't be able to do this one day, guys. It's that you see that, that chungus right there on your screen. You don't want to fly through that.
Oh. Yeah, that's bad.
That is a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, as you're saying, it's not that it won't ever be able to do it in the future. It's that right now they are still understanding this vehicle. They're still flight testing it. They're still figuring it out. But the other thing is there are certain things you just can't fly through, and that goes for literally anything. There are things you don't want to drive through. That goes for anything. Sometimes weather, Mother Nature, you just kind of have to deal with it. And if you can't fly, you can't fly. It's just it's one of those things. And unfortunately, right now they don't fully understand the vehicle. I mean, they've got a pretty good understanding of it because they've flown it 9 times already. But until they get the design down, until everything is solid, they're not really going to fully understand all the weather constraints to the vehicle until they finalize the design. Because as we know, the design is not finalized yet. Eventually, Starship's going to get stretched. Eventually, we have the next generation version coming out, which is version 3, Block 3. That's coming out, which is going to have changes to it. So that changes the flight characteristics. There's a whole bunch of things that go with it. But even in this kind of instance, if there's lightning around with this rain, even an airplane can't take off in this. Not with lightning. That shuts down the ramp. That usually shuts down the runways. You can't take off because if you take off in something like this, there's a chance the airplane can get struck by lightning. While it can take that, it can also cause damage to the aircraft. It's designed to take it, but that doesn't mean you should do it. If you can avoid it, you should.
And now imagine the testing size we have for airplanes, right? We understand airplanes flew millions of times at this point in humans' history, and again, this is just Starship Flight 10. They are not there yet, and as Ryan said, this is not something you would usually fly airplanes through. The advantage just sometimes is you can fly over it. If that is not the airport, but if this is right now the airport. That's not great for airplanes either.
We'll need like weather modification stuff, like cloud seeding, or we would need ways to disrupt weather patterns. Like when you're preparing to launch, you shoot something up into the atmosphere and it dissipates any weather, so you get clear skies and then you launch. I mean, eventually there's going to be some kind of weather control net. I mean, eventually we'll figure out how to dissipate clouds, how to create rain where we want to do. That's not like something that humanity won't be able to figure out at some point. But it's a technology we straight up don't have right now. We don't have that. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be nice to just, wish for the sun. I'd be okay with that. I mean, I got a lot of sun up here in the Northeast right now. It has done the opposite of that. It has not rained a lot, which is, that's good. All my plants are basically wilting and destroyed, but that's fine. It's fine. They got all the water, But anyway, hopefully we see these storms pass through, guys. That's I did see a little bit of sunlight there. Not on that camera though. It is raining sideways. Okay.
You know what I'm more worried about here, EJ, than the launch window itself, because of course the launch window is 9 hours away, right?
Yeah.
But there are potentially some items that also require vehicle access. I don't know if that is the case today on launch day, but there are, of course, some things that will be slower or more annoying to do while you're on a rain. I mean, the same goes for our field team, right?
Mhm.
They have to deploy cameras right now in this.
I'm sorry. That sounds awful. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad for sitting in my office all dry and cool like that. Oh boy. But then again, Adrian, I have done that. I've been out there doing field operations. I did them for 7 and 8, and then went and hosted the main launch stream here. It is a grueling task. And during flight 7, we did it in weather like this, which is, fun. Not. Oh boy.
In regards to the vehicle preps, I do want to say yesterday it was a first for the Starship program. Now, yes, they have had scrubs in the past and turned into wet dress rehearsals. But yesterday was the first time they ever went through the full count with no issues. They paused at T minus 40, not because of an issue with the pad or the vehicle, but because of weather. And then because they couldn't go, they ran the clock to T minus 10 and then kicked it back to 40 and then scrubbed the launch. With no issues to the vehicle, there was, I think, one lift out in the middle of the night to just kind of look at the BQD. But it's a first for the program that they tried to launch, but it was scrubbed by weather, like a lot of other rockets run into. But it's a first for the program. They actually haven't had that where they scrub because of that. They actually haven't had that before. It's kind of funny. It feels normal now. It's like, Starship gets scrubbed by the weather.
Yeah.
A little more normal.
But Ryan, like every wet dress rehearsal that they have, that's just more data on Starship flights. I mean, even a wet dress rehearsal can give you some pretty dang good telemetry. And even though the rocket didn't fly, that's good. More data is going to make this thing more reliable in the future, so it gets to a point where it can take off with this stuff. Hopefully. I mean, there are other rockets, guys, that can take off in a thunderstorm. There is footage out and around. I'm sure we don't have it, but that's fine, and I'm not asking for it either. There's footage of like Soyuz rockets, Russian Soyuz rockets, just getting absolutely ganked by lightning on the way up, and then just the Soyuz doesn't care. It's just like, yeah, all right, whatever.
The
Cool.
the R7, it is funny because Elon, we can talk about the Kevin's telling me to put me in timeout. I'm referencing yesterday, Kevin, or at least the last 2 days. Anywho, I don't want that today. Like they're talking about flying Starship, 1,000 times and all these other things. The only rocket that's ever hit 2,000 launches in a single run, and it's a family of rockets, is the R7. That thing has been around since the 50s. It has flown over 2,000 times. It is a workhorse. It is a tank. It just keeps going and doesn't stop. It is kind of hilarious what that thing can fly through. And the hope is that Starship does that and better, because they understand the thing so much they're like, it's fine, it'll just go. It's so beefy that it doesn't matter. I can't wait to get to that point, because I think Starship will eventually get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Adrian, you said it a little before when you're talking about planes have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours of testing. In that, what you're basically getting at is it's just, a design matures over time. It matures over time. I mean, look at Falcon 9. Look at Falcon 9's reliability nowadays versus 10 years ago. Even 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, SpaceX was barely figuring out densified propellants. It might scrub, it might not. Now it's weird if a Falcon 9 does scrub. And that's just speaking to the maturity of design. And that comes with, time and hours. And that's why this data that they're getting, even from a wet dress rehearsal, is good data. That's good. That's going to help. And that's going to make the vehicle more reliable in the future. Anyway, I'm going to bust through the support queue here. I refuse to leave that support queue window full. So we're going to want to get through some support here. We have Bideford with the $25 super chat. Love this intro. Hyped up again. Ready, set, go. Bideford, please give your son my regards. I hope he gets better. Thank you very much. I did keep him in my thoughts. I said I would, and I did. I am a man of my word. So, Bideford, thank you for the 25. Do appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to have trouble with this one. Adimchi Onyanadum. I think I got it. 20 euros. Why didn't they use yesterday's scrub scrub event as an opportunity to do a full wet dress rehearsal to confirm that all recent changes made have been properly addressed? I'm pretty sure they did.
They did?
Adimchi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did. So your mind is in the exact right spot. That is exactly what happened. So that's great. Thank you. Go ahead, Adrian.
That's why they also called a scrub and then went all the way down to T minus 10 seconds, because they wanted to test these critical 30 seconds from 40 to 10, where a lot of stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they like. You're 100% on the right thing here. That's what they did. They now performed. We can now say this stack has performed a successful wet dress
And a tanking test.
and a tanking.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Or partial tanking test, I should say, because the booster didn't even get any locks loaded, and just like that, the rain is gone. Yeah, I love those pop-up thunderstorms.
Yeah, that happens, especially where it's humid, and it is humid down there. That is very humid down there. All right, so we have the Eagle with 10 Red Team gifted memberships. Eagle, thank you very much. I love your name. That's awesome. And then we got Elijah Summer. Elijah, it's good to see you again. Elijah was chatting up a storm yesterday in the Stakeout stream with us. Good to see you again. Hope you're having a good morning. $2 super chat. Was here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. yesterday. See, I remembered that before I read it. I swear, I wasn't like, oh, I read it. Like, oh, I'm good. No. Elijah, I remember you. I remember everybody. I stream on Twitch. You ask anybody over there. I remember people that I have conversations with. I think it's because I was dropped as a child and hit my head on things. Probably that. Probably should have been wearing a helmet. Didn't wear a helmet. Riding my bike. What are you gonna do? All right, we have the Eagle again with a $50 super chat saying, as someone from Wyoming, here it comes, Adrian. Here it comes.
Oh no.
Can you point in the right direction to the coast? I really want to watch re-entry. Here it, dude. Already? How far are we into the stream? 22 minutes?
It's haunting me. One day I have to go to Wyoming at this point.
Wyoming's beautiful, for what it's worth. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'd rather be flying an X-Wing. $2 super chat. This does not keep your yak dry. That is very true. The yak will almost certainly get saturated with moisture today, which is not good. You do not want to have a wet yak. Then the beard gets all icky and gross. Sorry. All right. Sir Goosey gifting a Red Team membership. Thank you very much, Sir Goosey. Okay, fellas, questions? Comments? Question? No, you do? You don't?
Questions?
You do? You don't? All right, cool. Let's pop through that questions queue here and roll with it. So this question's coming from Tom. Tom, if current Ship 37 does not perform successfully today, how will SpaceX test what was not tested and verify the changes they make will work with only one other ship left? Ryan, that feels like a Ryan question. Ryan, Your Honor.
Well, they only have one Block 2 ship left. It's not like they only have one ship left, period. I mean, they're building 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49 as all the nose cone parts we've seen. Yes, that many. Which is kind of nuts to say the least. But I mean, if it doesn't work out and they're not able to test any fixes, then they'll try again on 38. If that doesn't work, they'll try again on 39 and 40. And I hope that doesn't happen. But, I mean, that's just kind of the thing of the way SpaceX has built this program, which is hardware rich. If you have problems, you try to make fixes on the next one and go. The hope is that with a program like that is that you don't have to do it too much. Is that when you fly something, you get to have a lot of success out of it. You may find little issues here and there, but you're able to continuously test your issues rather than having other bigger ones crop up and not be able to test other fixes. That's the hope you always have. Unfortunately, with Block 2, they've had the issue of, well, they had a lot of fixes from the Block 1 era they put onto Block 2, and then they started to come up with more issues, so they couldn't test the issues that they made on Block 2. Like the biggest one is moving the forward flaps. That is something that they found during reentry, and they've kind of known for a while that they wanted to move the flaps forward, but they haven't been able to test it because they haven't gotten there. They haven't gotten to that point. So they'll keep flying. That's what they'll do. They'll just keep flying until they figure it out. And I just hope that they get success, because if they get success, they learn more from it. The further the ship gets, the more data they get, the more stable it is, the further they can get, the more upgrades they can make to future ships, so the further they can get in the program and faster they can make it, make the ship more reliable. So that's just all.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just because this is an older version of the ship doesn't mean, as Ryan was saying, doesn't mean that they aren't going to test new things on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Block 3 ship has that dumb link dispenser in the payload bay door, right? Like, Ryan, it has that. That's still a thing, and you can test it here. What engines you have powering Starship in the drive section?
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't matter for the.
That.
Oh, dude, I'm making it stick. I agree with you 100%. That's not going to affect how the payload bay door works, right? So even though you have, two quote unquote outdated ships in here, you're still going to be able to test some good stuff that will be relevant in Block 3. Okay. This next question is coming from Terry Ladding. Adrian, I'm going to tee this one up for you. He asks, do Raptors run at full throttle on ascent? That's a good question. Adrian, go for it.
It's a very interesting question, because from what we can tell, at least they run them close to 100%, but it seems like they adjust sometimes a bit at the beginning. At least the early flights, for example, didn't run 100. They ran about 90%. And of course, as most rockets do, they throttle down once the aerodynamic pressure increases to not, crush your vehicle on ascent. So that is another part. So yes, they run at least close to full throttle on ascent, and then they throttle down a bit during max Q and make sure that they don't put the vehicle through too much pressure.
So you're talking about Q, right? Oh, you guys want some nerd stuff? I know it's a little early. We can nerd out right now if you want.
Let's do it.
All right, so Q refers to dynamic pressure on the front of a vehicle. As Adrian was saying, they'll throttle the engines back. Now, dynamic pressure means that you have a changing amount of pressure being exerted on the vehicle during ascent, right? So now here's where this gets complicated, right? You'd think that the pressure is going to stay the same on the front of the vehicle. Well, no, you're dealing with a lot of different things going on. The rocket's going faster, right? The atmosphere is getting less dense, right? So, because there's no air up there, the atmospheric density will go down over time. The atmosphere gets thinner and thinner. But the rocket still needs to get to a certain speed to get into orbit at the same time. So Q, maximum dynamic pressure in rockets, refers to a point where you have peak aerodynamic loading on the front of the vehicle. Basically, Starship can't move the air out of the way. It can't move the air out of the way fast enough. Air is getting compressed up against the front of the vehicle because the oncoming air is basically forcing it up against the nose. It creates a kind of I'm not sure if that's the right exact term, but it's a stagnation area, right? And that basically makes aerodynamics and physics are trying to make your rocket accordion itself. And I'm pretty sure we don't need an accordioning Starship. That's probably not good for, landing people on Mars. So that was a good question. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. We got another one here coming from Johan M. Johan, what are you up to here? What are you asking? What's on your mind? All right. So why not just hold the launch attempt until it's a clear day again? I have to get up in the middle of the night for every attempt.
I will just jump into this because they thought there might be a window. This is a very, from a perspective, this can be a bit hindsight. Because, of course, now we know weather was not go yesterday, right? But from what we can tell, weather was initially about 50% go. So you want to at least give it a try. And yes, the weather got worse in the window, but at that point, you're already starting to fuel. You're already at that, and you still had a 30% chance, according to SpaceX. So if you already went through all the closures and everything, and you're at that point, you might as well take a chance with the 30% and at least try. We had rocket launches. Falcon Heavy's demo flight to be an excellent example. Nobody thought Falcon Heavy demo would launch on that day. Nobody. That weather was really bad. And then they
Can
just
confirm.
made it work.
Yep, I was there for that Falcon Heavy flight. Me and Das and a bunch of other people were like, "There's no way this thing is going," and then it did. There's my alarm. Cool, it's time to wake up.
So yeah, it's a thing. So sometimes you get lucky. We had launches that go at 10%. We also recently had a Falcon 9 launch that scrubbed at 90% go because of weather. 90% still leaves 10%. 10% still leaves 90%. Math checks out. So
it's a little bit early, but I was discussing dynamic pressure here a second ago. So I think we were at the point where doing math on stream is okay. I think that's fine. Let's keep going through the questions here. Oh, Wyoming coast.
Oh my god.
Sorry, it's a good question. All right, it's going to be the same way on Mars in dust storms. If you're not flying through those, weather happens. You're not flying through those. Weather happens regardless of planet. Yeah, I mean, ideally, because of transfer windows and stuff, you really don't want the weather to be a constricting thing because orbital mechanics is already constricting your transfers, a lot. But I mean, I don't know. Personally, I believe I'm pretty sure the dust storms that happen on Mars, like the one in The Martian, is grossly over-exaggerated for story purposes. I'm pretty sure. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to get Martian dust just blowing around all over solar panels and stuff, when you're on the surface. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, you'll still get dust blowing around, but I don't think you're gonna have the kind of dust storms in that. The one thing about Mars is what it's got. It's 1% the density of Earth, right? I'm trying to remember what the percentage was, but it has an atmosphere, but it's not much. There really isn't much there. But that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the number one question we're getting asked today, right? Adrian, go.
There was was it a Martian or something that had this is 130 kilometers an hour winds, and if you actually calculate that, it's it's just, I think it's 1/10 of the atmosphere, so it's that's a breeze. Don't be worried about that.
A hurricane on Mars would be a soft breeze here because of the density, guys, because the atmospheric density. Mars has some atmosphere, guys, but it's not what Earth is. Earth is a big chunky supersphere compared to Mars.
Yep. So it's it's not really. It's always funny when movies try to exaggerate that, and they're like, "Oh, it's so fast." Yeah, but if you divide it by 10, you're just at 13 kilometers an hour winds. That's not that harsh. And there you can see the weather, by the way. Yep. And you can see, I think, barely at the end, you can really see that storm popping off there right at over Starbase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're, Adam Suker's going to get very angry at me because I'm going to say this and I'm probably not going to say it right. But seems to be a cell over South Texas, and meteorologists, if I'm saying that wrong, tell me the right way to say it because I'm not a weather person. Okay, I can tell you what the vehicle does, but. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of clouds over there. You know where it's clear, though? It looks pretty clear on the Cape. I'm just saying.
So move the rocket over?
That's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah. Maybe they should build a pad for that. They should maybe start some environmental work for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea.
Maybe just build another factory over there. I think that's a good idea.
Well, hi there. That's a lot of cranes.
How many cranes you want? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. It's a decent amount of cranes. If you want to see a lot of cranes, just look across the channel. You can look across the channel from Starbase over to where they're constructing that LNG plant. Holy that's a lot of cranes.
Look at the top right camera. There's literally a Falcon 9 in the air right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's doing what's called a CATO. That's a crane-assisted takeoff there.
Uh-huh. Which one is that? I don't remember.
I can get that info for you if you
Or-
keep talking here for a moment.
It's for sure the CRS booster, right? Like
I was about to say, yeah,
CRS.
there hasn't been another launch. Yeah.
It's
So then
SpaceX
it's B1090. I think it's
1090.
B1090-7.
Yeah.
Yep, 1090-7.
Yeah. Well, now it's technically I think -8. If you
Yeah, it would be 8.
depending on
Yeah,
depending where
how you name it, right? It's completed 7 flights. If let's just say that was its 7th flight, delivering the SpaceX 33 mission to the ISS. That was C211.
Because the way SpaceX does it is, technically speaking, it is -8 because it is going to fly again at this rate. We expect it to fly again on another mission, and that's why like it's called 15-2 because 15 is going to fly again. So, you know. But it's the way SpaceX does it. It's everyone. I know people have gotten mad at it and everything. It's like, what do you want us to do? It's the way SpaceX does it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Just say it's flown 7 times.
Right.
Plain English way of saying it. Now that Dragon, just a quick side tangent here. That Dragon that it took to the ISS was pretty cool. C211 had its trunk. All the Dragons have a trunk. It's like an adapter that goes on the back of the Dragon that has like solar panels on it, right? If you've seen crew launches with us here on NSF, you see it. It has the fins on it, right? Now, SpaceX 33 launched with extra propellant tanks and thrusters in the trunk, kind of making an impromptu service module on that resupply Dragon. Now, the reason why they did it is because that Dragon's going to be used for ISS boosting operations, which that's actually super cool. Even this far into Falcon 9's architecture, we're still seeing SpaceX throw cool modifications at the vehicle. Just I think that's super neat.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of small little modifications over time that they have thrown at Falcon 9 and the Dragon is honestly quite amazing. And they basically squeezed out every single capability, feature, and performance they could get out of this rocket.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's dive into more questions here. We got Starman, which is asking, Starman's asking, why do SpaceX launch directors start counting down at different T- times before launches? Specifically Starship, 10, 5 seconds, etc. Is there any standardized way of calling out stuff on the nets? Ooh, that's a good question. Who wants this one? This is a good one. Ryan, it's up to you.
I mean, it's more of I don't think there's really a standardization. It's more of what procedures you come up with as a company, and also depends on the rocket. Like, and also I would assume that almost a lot of different launch directors might have a different way of doing things, or at least, I mean, there's a set procedure obviously for the rocket itself. There's a set countdown where certain things happen in that countdown and everything like that, and that's that. But when it comes to different launch directors, maybe they just have a different way of counting out, seconds. Like, some may say 30, or maybe they'll say 20. Maybe they won't say 20. Maybe they'll say 30, then 15, then 0. I don't know, something like that. That's my guess, anyways.
Yeah, I think the different countdowns. Yeah, it's really kind of up to the. I mean, every vehicle's going to have a specific checklist and subsets for it. That's like the countdown sequence is going to be denoted by what's called stakeholder expectations, right? So Starship's countdown is very much due to the fact that they are trying to make it reusable. Like, Starship has that built-in 40-second hold where SpaceX can do a final troubleshoot and they can recycle the vehicle at that 40-second hold point. That's super useful to be able to increase your odds of launching if you have a problem. You could basically pause everything. You can pause the count and then unpause it and go. That is very, very vital to rapid reuse. So every vehicle's countdown is kind of, I'm not going to say preordained, right? Every vehicle's countdown is kind of thought up based off of how the vehicle is supposed to perform. If you take something like Delta 4, right? Delta 4 had planned holds in the count, right? But if Delta 4 got inside of 4 minutes, they would have to recycle, and that could potentially cause a 24-hour turnaround. You don't necessarily have that kind of stuff with Starship. Because with Delta, it doesn't, you can launch the next day, right? That's not a big deal. You know, you can wait a day to launch the payload. That's no problem. But with something like Starship, where we want it to launch, or where SpaceX wants it to launch all the time, right? Having that hold and being able to troubleshoot problems on the fly denotes how that countdown sequence happens. It's all about what the vehicle's supposed to do. That's a good question. Good stuff. All right. You guys mind if I tap out the support queue? It's getting kind of long on my watch. I don't like that. All right, cool. So we got Bill Caraveau with a $7.77 tip. Here's some lucky sevens. 777 pennies. EJ will appreciate this. Starship Block 2 is a lot like brake cleaner on paper cut hands. It reveals the flaws, but makes the program stronger in the end. Bill, I probably shouldn't have. It's not good for you, but I cleaned my hands with brake cleaner an hour ago because I was working on a vehicle before I got here. So there's that. Yep, I agree. 100%. I appreciate that. You do. All right. And I'm just saying, for safety's sake, do not spray brake cleaner on your hands.
Yep. Don't do it.
Don't do that. It's not good for you.
It's very not good for you.
Yep. Use soap or Fast Orange or Gojo or something. Do not use brake clean to clean your hands. I know that clean is in the name. That's bad for you. Don't do that. All right. Let's see. What else do we got? Okay, we got Leilana und Sophia with a €2 super chat. Another long night for us in Germany. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Adrian, can you speak to this?
I mean, it's 1:30 a.m. I said this yesterday. I think it's okay. It's fine from a time perspective. Yeah, maybe that's just me, but I always was a bit of a night owl. It could be worse. Like, imagine if this would be like 4 a.m. That's the worst time.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's those launches that happen in, correlative to your local time zone that are in that point where even if you're a night owl, you would be asleep. So like, you're right. 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Those are the worst. Those are the ones that get you. Because not only is it a task to stay up for the dang thing, right? Your sleep schedule's destroyed.
Yeah.
So definitely hear you. I hope you guys got some sleep. What's up?
Do you think the exhausting thing is right now, and especially from a perspective of from a person that works, like, for example, in a European time zone, works, I don't know, 9 to 5. The problem is you have to stay up late, right? You have to stay up decently late. Then you go to your normal 9 to 5 job, for example, and then usually that would be the time where you catch up on sleep. But then NSF is already live again with the Stakeout. So the repetition here, EJ, I think that might get some people, because you never have a window to, reduce your lack of sleep.
Yep. Yeah, definitely, dude. All right, so we have 1,000-foot camera tower with 20 Danish kroners for DAS's 1,000-foot camera tower. Did I miss something here? What is DAS scheming up now?
People asked how tall we want to build that tower. DAS said not so tall, and Chet thought different. So we are now competing for SpaceX with the tallest tower in Starbase, apparently. That's the goal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that'll go over fine. I'm sure it'll work. It's a good idea. DAS will get it done. All right. Next question. All right. Sam Robinson, $10 super chat. It's about time Elon founded a weather control company to keep SpaceX launches clear and dry. Perhaps it could be called the Umbrella Corporation. You know what? I don't think that's a good idea at all, Sam. I don't think we should do that. No. I've seen this movie before. Nope. Yeah. No. Yep.
Their motto is "Your life is our business." I'm good. Nope. Nope.
Yeah. I think it might be easier to just make the rocket launch in bad weather than control the weather to try and get the conditions good for the rocket. I'm pretty sure you just do that first one.
I think that the company should also research topics like how to revive dead cells or something. That's a good medical idea. Yeah, like great, right?
Virus, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
we should do that.
Under Raccoon City, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Rian's with the one red team gifted membership. Thank you very much. All right. We got Marcus Castle de la Garza, $2 super chat. Any checks on the stack since it sat out overnight? I'm pretty sure they've been monitoring it the whole night, most likely. At least from mission control, right? What's up, man?
They got a lot of cameras they can look at it. I mean, I think there was one lift that looked at the BQD, but that was about it. With it being they said it was a healthy vehicle, they had no issues, so there was no reason to go look at it. I mean, the best rockets are the ones you can just have sit it out on the pad and kind of wait for your launch window without having to go do stuff to it. And it looks like this stack is good to go still. So,
I mean, we didn't get much technical substance with Elon yesterday, but one of the things that he did say is that, it's made out of stainless steel for reusability reasons. And one of those reasons is exactly what is addressed in this question. Stainless, you can leave it there. It'll be fine. It really isn't going anywhere. Now, other components on the rocket that aren't made out of stainless? I don't know.
Yeah. I think when we had Scott on 2 days ago, he also voiced some worry about, for example, lightning hitting the TPS. Because that might also not be super, super great for the thermal protection system.
Yeah. Once again, guys, people are like, oh, they're going to launch it. It's fine. It's just some clouds. No. Those clouds have electrical charge in them. And you're essentially launching a lightning rod into space. That, lightning tends to damage things. That's just good rule of thumb. Don't get struck by lightning. I have all the safety tips here, and I have a whole book on how to, safety tip correctly.
Mm-hmm. Which number is that? Which number is safety tip?
That is safety tip. It's probably at the top of the list. So I'd say like safety tip number 5. Don't get struck by lightning. It's bad for you. Yeah.
Indeed.
The state of California told me so. It was on a warning label. Okay, cool. Moving on.
The silence made it even better.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing. California's okay. You guys are cool. All right, Papa Hawkeye 4077 with the $5 super chat. Why are rockets so good at telling jokes? They have an excellent delivery system. Dude, Sawyer isn't even here. They're not even here. Don't you get enough puns when he's here? Man.
I mean, I would say that's a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
No. I'm getting that. Get that off the screen. I can control the screen. Get it off the screen.
I want to encourage this behavior, Chad.
Eric in chat says, I'm telling Jack you're disparaging our state. Yeah, do it. He'll be like, you know what he'll probably say? Jack won't be like, oh my God, is he? He'll be like, yeah, EJ would do that. And then probably move on. I'm just saying. All right, so next thing, we got a $10 super chat from Todd here. Is this the first time Starship has been able to turn around in 24 hours with a full wet dress rehearsal the night before? Impressive with the amount of fuel needing to be replaced. Adrian?
I'm right now thinking if that's the first time they've done it 24 hours after. It is, right? Because they never really got to this point where this was like fully needed. And then, of course, they had a tank farm upgrade and they have more capacity in the tank farm at this point. So that is good news for them. We still see an impressive work of the logistics teams there because tanker have been coming in non-stop to replenish most likely nitrogen and liquid oxygen, because I think they shouldn't have lost any or like that much methane, because methane of course gets mostly reclaimed. Nitrogen is probably something they lost a lot of because nitrogen is boiling off during the cooling. And then liquid oxygen, for example, is running through the cooldown vents, such as the tower vent or the pad vent. So that is that is also probably a reason why they lost a lot of liquid oxygen. So oxygen and nitrogen are most likely the two things they are replenishing right now. But as far as we can tell, they are able to do this with quite a logistics chain supporting it.
Yeah.
And
we can see what they're bringing in if we, if we have, I know, we got the highway cam on in the background. If we get a good eye on one of these trucks, if the truck is indicating a yellow safety placard, it's got locks on board. So we could actually probably see what they're loading up. This is a game that I like to play when I watch Starbase Live in my spare time. And I'm like, hey, oh, what is that carrying? Oh, what does that carry? So, if we do get a shot of one of these trucks, Ryan, I'm talking to you, not Ryan, but other Ryan, producer Ryan. If we get a shot of these, we could probably see what they're trying to load up. If it has a green placard on it, a green diamond on it, that means it's moving nitrogen. Red would be methane. All right, so let's see. What other dude, the support queue keeps growing every time. No, we got to get through this. Stuart loves things that fly. $50 super chat. Just a little love for all the coverage since Sunday, even though I have to head home. Get her done today. We'll be here. We're staking it out. It's Starbase Stakeout. We'll be here. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being with us, Stuart. We appreciate it, man.
EJ.
What's up, dude?
When I know people would probably ask this, because they recover methane. And they'll probably ask, well, why don't they try to recover the LN2 and the oxygen, and they just vent it out? Well, when they do the LN2, it's getting boiled off. Like, they're basically transferring the thermal properties of the LN2. So the cold LN2, they're using it to subcool the liquid oxygen and liquid methane. Mm-hmm. So then it warms it up and then it boils it off. In order to try to recapture that, you would then have to use more LN2 or LOX in order to recondense it back and get it back into the tanks, which makes your tank farm more complicated. You then have to use other liquids to do it, and it just becomes a giant pain. For LOX, it's the same way. If you wanted to try to recapture all that, you'd have to put an extra set of pipes in to recycle it back to the tank farm and recapture it. You'd either have to use a compressor system, some kind of buffer tanks in order to recondense it to get it back into the tanks. It just it overcomplicates your systems. It just adds a lot to it. You only have a limited amount of area to do stuff in, and it just adds a lot of complication to it. That's why they don't do it. And environmentally speaking, just dumping LOX and LN2 out doesn't really matter that much. Methane, on the other hand, is a problem. You don't want to dump that out. That's bad. That's not good.
That makes Captain Planet angry.
Yeah, and then it also is a little. It's your least used commodity, so you want to try to keep it as much as possible as well. So there's reasons to why they don't do that. Just to give everyone,
yeah. I'm pretty sure methane's a greenhouse gas. It's not that's not particularly good. The planet needs to shed a certain amount of heat or else it heats up. This is not like a judgment thing or an opinion thing. That absolutely does happen because of infrared light, amongst other things. You got to radiate that heat out. People get mad when you vent methane. Captain Planet sheds a tear when that happens. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure no one's going to care if you vent oxygen, right? Yeah. No one. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, we need that.
I mean, the atmosphere is with 20% oxygen, 70% nitrogen.
79 nitrogen. Well, 79 nitrogen, 20 oxygen, and then 1%, stuff you probably shouldn't be breathing.
Yeah. So it's not like it's going to matter that much when you vent that stuff. It really isn't. So.
Yep. All right, cool. I am going to jet through the rest of the support queue here. We have Red Queen GTA WS6. I hope you're talking about the Pontiac. That'd be amazing, Red Queen. Reference acknowledged. If so, 5 Red Team memberships. Thank you very much. That's a sweet car, man. I'm just saying. Pontiac GTA WS6. Got nostrils on it. Look it up. It's pretty cool.
And Red Queen, reference acknowledged as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Thank you for the 5 Red Team memberships. Stuart Young with the $10 super chat. Do y'all think that Dragon Falcon Heavy, if filled with enough tankage and Dracos and foldable legs on the outside, could accomplish a soft landing on the moon? One way, of course. Ooh.
Yeah, probably.
Boil off would be a big problem.
Potentially. The problem is really we are talking about major modifications. This is definitely not something that would be easy. Of course, SpaceX had that concept. We had Grey Dragon. which at some point was a plan for a Dragon modified for moon operations, and then we also had Red Dragon, a Dragon capsule modified for Mars operations. But it would not be like just as easy as just putting a Dragon on top of Falcon Heavy and just calling it a day. Definitely would be a whole project they would have to run. You would need to make sure that the thrusters are even working like that. You would have boil-off problems for sure with Dragon. You would. I'm not even sure Falcon Heavy has enough performance with Dragon to bring it all the way where it needs to go to the moon. So it's quite a challenge, honestly. You could make a whole video about this, and probably are still running into problems you need to address.
Hint, hint. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, honestly.
That's not a bad idea. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you'd run it. So Falcon Heavy could fling a Dragon. It could absolutely throw a Dragon on a translunar injection. So TLI, or translunar injection, is a nice way of saying you're shooting something at the moon, right? I'd be so like at that point, guys. Once you get to the moon, you're going to need a certain amount of delta V, or change in your velocity, to be able to circularize and then capture and then land. Unless SpaceX figures out a way to, SpaceX would figure out a way with Falcon Heavy on their second stage to prevent cryogenic boil off on the liquid oxygen, especially because it's densified. You know, sitting up there in space in the sun all day is a real pain in the butt. You conduct, I mean, you're not conduct, it absorbs heat all day if you're in the sun, right? Because it's not going to be nighttime when you're transiting out to the moon, right? And all that heat needs to go somewhere. You'd need some kind of propellant thermal control system. If you could use the second stage to circularize Dragon around the moon and get it into low lunar orbit, then Dragon, like if it was a USDV Dragon, then you might be able to have, maybe, that's a big maybe. Dragon would be able to do it with its thrusters. Its thrusters are NTO and MMH, nitrogen tetroxide and monomethyl hydrazine. And it's pressure fed, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's using helium. It's using helium feeding into a tank bladder, which means it's simple enough to land on the moon. That's not far off from what the LEM had, the Lunar Excursion Module. That's not far off from that. But the thing is, you know, even if you have the delta V to land on the moon, you still got to stop within a certain period of time. So the Dracos are up to task, but I'm not sure you'd be able to do it. I'm not sure you'd be able to slow down fast enough. You need a pretty big engine to deorbit and land on the moon. I mean, look at the ascent engine on the Apollo Lunar Excursion Module. The ascent stage, it has a tiny little motor comparatively to the descent stage, which has the LMDE, which actually is Falcon 9's grandfather, believe it or not. Not a lot of people know that. You'd need a lot of thrust. It's not just about having enough fuel. It's about having the thrust to be able to stop in time. You got to be able to hit the brakes fast enough, or else the moon's surface is going to brake for you, meaning you crash into the surface. So there's a lot of things at play. Adrian, you're absolutely right. Ryan, you got anything to add?
I mean, you kind of all hit all the topics. You need something that's. The problem is the Falcon 9 second stage isn't really made to go all the way there.
Yeah.
They'll have boil off and everything like that. You need something like the SPS, the Surface Propulsion System, like on I wouldn't use the Orion one. No. That uses a more dinky version of the AJ-10. I would use the AJ-10 137 on that was used on the SPS for the Apollo command module and command and service module. That was a much more powerful version of the AJ-10. And I kind of wish they were still using it, but you know, they wouldn't use shuttle hardware.
AJ-10 190s are okay, I guess, if you like underperformance.
Yeah, the 137 is better though.
You'll get no argument from me, man, and I'm a shuttle guy.
Yeah, I'm just looking up some numbers here. So the SpaceX Draco, the whole SpaceX one Draco has a thrust of 400 Newton. In vacuum. Just for comparison, the lunar module descent engine had 45,000 Newton.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It would have to be if you're going to do that with a Falcon or Dragon, it would have to be like the USDV, or SpaceX would need to develop some type of engine that's rated at up in the 45,000 newtons. Yeah, I don't know if a Dragon would be able to soft land. I mean, you might be able to get away with it with the Super Dracos, but you'd have to modulate thrust to do that, because a landing burn on the moon is going to require a longer duration burn than what the Super Dracos kind of offer. The Super Dracos are on for about 10 seconds and then they're off. You might be able to get away with it with that. But I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think that, SpaceX has a lander and it's right on the screen right there. We should just use that. Should just use that. But, it is fun to theory craft about, Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy and Dragon and what you could do with that. I mean, it's actually a pretty robust architecture for lunar exploration. A case could be made for that. Absolutely. You could use Falcon 9 to build some type of transfer vehicle, dock to it with a Dragon and go. But why would you go through all that when you have what you see on the screen? Right? Why do that?
At what point do you basically redesigning something completely and basically having to do everything new? And at that point, you're running a whole new program, so you might as well use the program you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why we haven't seen many Falcon Heavies, right, Ryan? Because it's really Falcon Heavy is really more of a stopgap at this point, right? Until Starship gets going.
Yeah, plus there really hasn't been a lot of use cases for it with how good Falcon 9 is and everything like that. Like the one thing I've been waiting to see, I was hoping to see on Falcon Heavy, but there's been a lot of delays to it, was the Axiom space station modules. But there's been, of course, a lot of delays because building a space station is not easy. it's not, especially if you're a company doing it for the first time ever. Those are not easy things to do. So there's a reason why there's delays. But I wish we've been able to see more Falcon Heavies, because it's a cool rocket. It really is. It's three. It's not exactly three Falcon 9s stitched together, because the center core is decently modified to handle the stresses, but it's still one of the cooler rockets to fly and one of the more powerful rockets to fly. Of course, with Starship existing now, it's not the most powerful, but for a little bit there, it was it held that crown. So,
Absolutely. Man, the support queue just keeps getting longer, guys. We appreciate all the support. Thank you very much. Thank you for enjoying this with us. We know it's a privilege to be the ones here talking to you about this stuff, and we do appreciate it. So with that being said, I'm gonna make sure I acknowledge all this support here. Dylan Cook with a $10 super chat. Jack's Kilt Fund. Oh, Jack's Kilt Fund. All right.
And you tell that DJ didn't read that super chat before you read it?
No, it's fine. Guys, he's not going to do it. He won't do it. Jack, once he makes up his mind, he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then he won't. So, I mean, you could keep pushing, but he's just going to keep showing up in pants. You know what I mean? Don Keyshop here with a 622 super chat. I think that's actually, what is that, Chilean? I don't know what CHF is, but either way, thank you very much. It's like the Super Bowl. All the good things are happening in the night. So I'll set the alarm.
Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. All right, nice. There you go. It's like the Super Bowl. All the good things are happening in the night. Yeah, see, that makes way more sense. Swiss, thank you very much. Okay, teach me. What does CHF stand for, guys? Just so I know, so I don't make a fool of myself again.
It's Switzer francs.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why it's CH.
The CH threw me. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's the Swiss franc. I'm sorry. It's my neighbor country, and I don't know how to perfectly say it, but it's definitely Swiss francs.
So, okay. People from Switzerland, let me know. Can I call it Swiss francs? Is that cool?
Here, the Latin name for Switzerland is Confederatio Helvetica, so CH.
Oh, that is awesome. You learn about rockets here on NSF, and you learn about currencies. That's a sweet name for a currency. I like that a lot.
Unlike the loony. Anyways.
What? Anyway, Don's going to set the alarm and watch the launch and sleep another 2 to 3 hours. That's probably a good bet, dude. Probably a good bet. Not me. I'm loaded up with coffee. We're good to go. Confederation Helvetique. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Most stable currency in the world, Ryan tells me. All right. Thank you. Now I learned. Now I won't make that mistake again. But, you can laugh at my misfortune for hosting and, getting currencies wrong. It's great. It's awesome. Everybody gets entertained here, right? And you learned something. You couldn't ask for more. All right. Now people are going to just tip in all the different currencies just to make me, try and read them, huh? That's happening, isn't it? Okay. All right. Russell Snodgrass tipping $100 super chat. Thank you very much. At NASA Spaceflight. Okay, Russell, what's on your mind? After detanking yesterday, was there any residual propellant left in the tanks, or does it boil off overnight? Ryan, this is a you question for sure.
So when they detank, they're able to basically take just about everything out that they can. I mean, some does boil off, and as they go, they of course vent out stuff. I mean, with methane, they try to literally recapture every little thing that they can, because you don't want to be venting methane off. So they have a bleed line. There's a pre-press line. There's the methane supply line, which is how they detank it, and then there's a reclaim. There's a methane reclaim that works for both ship and booster. Now that can basically grab the methane gas and take it off board, take it off the vehicle. Now with LOX, they can let stuff boil off and just vent it overboard. That doesn't really matter as much. You try to recapture everything you can, but whatever's left in the tanks, when you see that like depress, because they'll detank for a while, and then you'll see every vent open on the vehicle. That is basically them just taking all the pressure that's inside the tanks and just venting it off. So they basically press them to like flight pressure at that point, which I think they're running at like 8 bar or something like that. It's relatively high for Starship, because stainless steel kind of allows a little bit higher pressure in that. So they just vent that off, and then once that's done, there shouldn't be anything left in the tanks after that. There might be some little boil offs here and there, but eventually it'll just boil off and get vented overboard, or at least recaptured with gas like methane does, and then they're pretty much fine. It takes a little bit to safe the vehicle entirely, because they detank by more or less pressure and gravity. They don't really, because there's no pump inside the vehicle to pump it out. So that's kind of how they detank. But yeah.
Cool. So yeah, there is some, but it boils off for the most part, except for the recirculated stuff. Right now, the tanks are probably purged out, right, Ryan? They purged them out, ready to fuel again.
This vehicle is pretty safe at the moment, both the booster and ship. Considering we're into the count and they're going, my guess is they're running their checks, which is usually they'll use the gases to actuate the valves. They'll check igniters, stuff like that. They might have already done that over the course of the night. I'd have to go back and look. But they run through, check igniters on both vehicles. They check all the valves and stuff. They don't really do any pressure testing. They might do that like before they go, because they have to like chill down stuff to get gas over there. But they're safe at the moment.
Cool.
It's a lot.
All right. Yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Look at the convoy.
That is quite a traffic jam of refills.
Breaker 19er. We got LOX coming down Highway 4. Breaker over. Anyway, sorry. Matthew Dahl with a $10 super chat. We got us a convoy. All right. Does SpaceX have a realistic, feasible plan to address the propellant bottleneck once they're ready for hundreds of launches? Well, Adrian, this is the air separator is going to address most of that, right?
Well, it will address LOX and nitrogen. I've pulled up the super heavy environmental impact statement for 39A, which mentions more details about the ASU, the air separation unit, that they want to construct there, and I assume a similar process will be implemented in Starbase. And this one says, SpaceX proposes to construct an ASU within the LC-39A fence line to generate liquid nitrogen and LOX to support launch activities. So this initial ASU will not produce methane, just LN2 and LOX. However, it does something with the methane. The treatment will increase purity of the methane. So they would still have to bring in the trucks to bring in the liquid natural gas, but it would help to purify the methane. at the place, but it would still require these trucks to come. And just to give you a bit of an example, for the launches, they want to perform at 39A. That's 44 launches a year. Right now, before the ASU is ready, this would equate to 19,356 trucks per year.
Did you have that answer teed up?
I saw the question and I had the eyes in the Empire Impact statement. I have that in a bookmark,
Oh,
and
right,
I know it's like somewhere around page like 26 of the executive summary. Like the thing is, when that released, Alex, Ryan, and I read that thing in like 48 hours. So once you read the document like that, you kind of know where to look.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the shuttle operations manual. I'm sure Chris B understands. Like it's like, oh, shuttle operations. Oh yeah, page 673. They're talking about propulsion. It's like, okay. Anyway, well, yeah, there you go. Actually, fellas, I was gonna say, I might just be pulling this out of thin air here, like the ASU does, right? But I'm pretty sure there's no short of hydrocarbons in Texas. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah,
I would
there
agree with
isn't.
that.
The one other thing the ASU can do is it'll get argon too, and they have a lot of welding down there, so they can just pull argon out as well. When it comes to the LNG, they can use I think they'll basically use boilers to purify it. And I know there's people who are asking who will definitely bring up the fact that they have the LNG plant that's being built over the Port of Brownsville. That is not for Starbase. None of that is for Starbase. That is all for export. The last thing I heard, it's just kind of an overview of that thing. They're initially building 5 trains. Each train basically takes natural gas and converts it into liquid natural gas and purifies it as it goes through fans, boilers, and all that other stuff. I think the amount that those 5 trains can do is like I think it was 28 million tons in a year or something of that liquid natural gas. Which I have to look at my math again. It was like thousands and thousands of Starship launches or whatever that it could do, or whatever, something along those lines. Those numbers might be off. It's been a while since I've looked into it, but most of that is set to be exported out. It's not set for Starbase. So,
well, that's a shame. But I mean, also, I get it. People like those those hydrocarbons. LNG is it's pretty cool. Pretty cool guy. Anyway, all right. The support queue is getting bigger somehow, and I'm trying to get through it, and it's getting bigger. All right. Anyway, so we have Aaron Gaynor with a €2 super chat. Do you think weather will stop the launch today? We are actually waiting on a weather report. Adrian, have we heard anything?
Not really yet. SpaceX sometimes gives us an update, but not so far.
Cool. All right. We got Justin Vollenweider. Hey, what's up, Justin? Good to see you again. All right. We have $6.99 Canadian. Hope y'all well. 2 scrubs must be good for NSF's bottom line. I mean, Justin, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not helping. Like, let's be real here. But, we're not like, oh yeah, it's scrubbed. We get another payday tomorrow. Like that is a plus. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not, but we want to see the rocket launch just as much as you guys. Like I really want this thing to go, because when you do all this coverage at some point, right? Like, we all have real lives that we have to do. Like there's stuff that we have to do. Like you can't sit here and just write off an entire week for Starship coverage. I mean, I would, but right. Like I have to go take out the trash, right? Like, I want to see the thing go just as much as you guys do. I don't know about Ryan and Adrian. You guys, yeah?
I just want it to go.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I mean, we are all rocket fans. This is this is exciting, right? So that's a thing that we really want to really, really see. And I think, EJ, that weather update that you teased is ready.
Oh. Do you want it? Can you tell the class?
Should I read it? Should I read
think
it?
you should. I think you should read it. I want to know. That's the number one question I've been seeing in chat all day, and I do watch the chat, guys.
So this is from Adam, of course, our resident NSF weather expert that has typed up an update from us. For us, saying, after looking at morning models, I still give it 75% go for weather. This number could change by mid-afternoon. Rain and storm chances will go down after mid-afternoon. I only have a 25% chance of an anvil cloud being over Starbase, as most of the storms should be far enough north and west to not get an anvil blow-off. Only weather watch item today is just lightning and anvil.
Yep.
So
sounds like a lot of the same stuff that we saw yesterday.
But less chance of anvil cloud building. That's a good thing. Like, we are just seeing like a 25% chance of anvil clouds over Starbase. That's a good thing. And again, that's an update from Adam, our weather expert here at NSF. But he has been very, very good on track for this campaign.
Yeah, Adam's on point. All right. So we have Terminally Optimistic, love that name, with 10 pounds sterling here. If Flight 10 hits all its objectives, is Ship 38 Booster 15 definitely flying, or could SpaceX skip it and go to Block 3? This is a Ryan question all day.
It's flying. SpaceX already confirmed that they have two sets of vehicles left in the current generation, and they're going to fly it. No matter what happens to this stack, it'll fly. They'll want to get the data out of it, because here's the thing: is 38's getting, I think it has half its engines at this point. It's got at least one aft flap. They just didn't think install that. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. And I think it was yesterday. And B-15 is sitting with its full set of engines ready for a static fire after completing already one flight. So they have the vehicles to fly. You might as well fly them, because as of right now, there is nothing for Block 3. Block 3, B-18 has its LOX tank, but no aft section, and the methane tank isn't even started yet, let alone SpaceX hasn't even tested the forward section yet of the booster. Nothing has been tested for Ship Block 3 yet, at least nothing that we have seen, and there's only a nose cone and payload section stacked for Ship 39. There may be a ton of nose cones there, but they don't have vehicles stacked. The pad's not ready. Massey's isn't ready for it. So either if they were to launch this and then scrap those two, I mean, you could be talking 6 to 8 months with no launches at all. And if they launch the next one, then you might be only looking at like 5 to 6 months. So yeah. There's gonna be a delay. Just spoiler alert, there's gonna be a delay until Block 3 launches. They have a lot of testing to do, they have a lot of things they have to complete, but it's going to be absolutely amazing when it does launch, because launches from this pad are really cool, because it's a 360-degree exhaust plume when it goes. And this, and then we got one more launch out of this pad after that. The next one, I cannot wait to see even a static fire come out of that trench. I just can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, on Pad B, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Okay. All right, I will defeat this support queue. Red Queen, GTA W6, $5 super chat. Hit it on the nose, EJ. 88 Trans Am GTA in red, nicknamed Red Queen, in reference to Resident Evil. Thanks y'all for the coverage. Third time's the charm. Oh, my guy. You know what I like about that? I got the car reference, and Ryan got the Resident Evil reference. That's the best part of that. When our powers combine, we form one reference acknowledging machine.
Voltron.
Right? Yeah, the more hosts we hook up, the better it gets. And we got plenty of different people hosting this stream today, so dude, it's gonna be like Voltron.
Yeah.
Dynatherm's connected. All right, sorry. Jeff Crockett, thank you for becoming a Pad Rat member, Jeff. We appreciate you. Greg Watson with a $5 super chat saying, "Oh, my hat."
Oh my god.
Yep.
I'm so glad that was left in the video.
Okay, Justin with $7 Canadian. We call it this Schweizer franc? Okay.
I would say, yeah, Schweizer Frank.
Schweizer franc. Okay. All right. Wunderbar. All right. LSR. Oh, gosh. LSR has a... Nope. I'm just going to say that's $1.79 and call it a day. I have no idea what currency that is, dude. LSR, what is that symbol? What is that? I don't know what that is. That's a... I'm
just impressed the ticker can display it.
Is that a rupee?
Somebody's saying it's a galaxy.
It does look like a galaxy. Well,
it's an Israeli shekel.
LSR, I'm never plugging NSF socials again because of this. I'm never doing it again. All right. Okay. All right. Keep in mind, guys, that the cast is in English. But with that being said, Donkey Shop again with 5 Schweizer francs. All right. I want EJ to pronounce this. Okay. The German name for the currency. It's Schweizerreich Eigenossenschaft.
It's not the name for the currency in this case. It's the name for the country, I think. And it would be correctly pronounced Schweizerische Eidgenossenschaft or Schweizerische Eidgenossenschaft.
Yep. No, I did not do that right. I don't think.
You know what?
Was I even close?
You come here to watch us talk about Starship, and you also come here to learn new languages. Welcome to NSF.
Yeah, we'll teach you something. You know, our goal is for you to get something out of the stream. Maybe you learned about Swiss currency today. Maybe you learned about full flow stage combustion. You don't know what you're going to get, but now you got it. All right, and that's what we do.
Today's language class.
Yeah, I'm learning.
We'll learn Spanish soon. Wait, what?
Yeah, you learned Spanish in 9 minutes. All right, we got Douglas Linsenman with a $10 super chat. No message. Douglas, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, we got Christopher Tilley. Thank you for becoming a Pad Rat member. Much appreciated. Tommy D, put Dragon inside of Starship. I mean, dude, I don't think SpaceX is going to do that, but I would be here for it if they did. I don't know about you guys. I'd be here for it.
Go ahead, Adrian.
I still want to. So Dragon, I don't think so. I want the Yeet experiment, EJ. I want us to put the most capable rocket, which at this point then would be Starship with the most power, put a super beefy upper stage, put a super beefy kick stage on that, and just see how fast we can make something. I want to see that. I just want to see how fast we can accelerate something, and we really have that as the sole goal of a thing.
First ever cargo Starship with the doors. Put a Cybertruck in it.
I'm okay with this.
And yeet it. Just go. Just don't like. I mean, of course, bring the booster back. But ship. Maybe make it an expended ship and chuck it as far as you can, just for fun. You know.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna bust through the support queue and then we'll get back to questions, guys. I see the questions. I'm getting through it.
Kevin is actively rallying the troops in the chat to make sure that you'll never get to the end of the support queue.
No, I'm not allowing that. That challenge accepted. DMHMT, $15 tip for the KMR Snickers Fund. And how about that Sam interview yesterday? First of all, we're not giving Kevin any candy. He gets a little antsy when we do that. You can't give him sugar. That's not a good idea. Second of all, that Sam interview was great. Really, really, really good stuff. Good stuff.
More professional than we are.
No comment.
We're just here. That's all we are.
Yeah. We're the first crew. You know, we're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. All right. John White, new member. Thank you for becoming a Capcom member. Appreciate it, John. Thank you very much. Jerwa, what's going on, buddy? $25 super chat. This space intentionally left blank. Cool. That means we can get through it quick. Thank you very much. Jerwa, on top of that, gifting 20 Red Team memberships. We appreciate it. Appreciate you, Jerwa. You're the best. Thank you very much. And then Micah here. We got Micah with a $10 tip. Speaking of weather, at least Starbase isn't auditioning for Dune like Arizona was yesterday. Yeah, you got to make sure you walk through the sand differently, or else they'll get you. You know.
Can I interrupt you?
I'm trying to kill the support queue, man. What's up?
Our field team is about to leave Starbase here at 7 hours and 35 minutes. We are about to see them leave. Yeah, team is ready at this point to depart Starbase. Of course, the road closure is soon to be in effect. So they have finished their preparations. Kind of cool to update there.
Excellent. How wet are they?
Probably very. I mean,
Yep.
it rained a lot.
Yep. We need to make sure we can get a picture of them to show everybody what these people, what Jack and the rest of the field teams go through for your entertainment.
I wonder what also if somebody like tripped in the dunes or something, like fell over, because like it has to be very slippery in these wetlands at this point, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering, because I think it's quite hard outside there.
It gets pretty muddy. I was on the crew. Hey, there they go. Look at how muddy that is, guys. I was there for Flight 7 doing setup. It is just a cakey mess. It's a nice
Amazing.
bird there. Nice bird. All right. Pauline Brook with $2.79 Canadian towards the goal. We appreciate you, Pauline. Thank you. All right. We got Matt's here. Mike Alpha Tango Sierra with 110 euros. Who's tired? I'm not tired. After 6 hours of sleep the last 2 nights, I hope this thing finally goes. Yeah. Keep up the great work. Love the streams as always. Matt's much love, dude. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. Don Key Shop. Oh my gosh, Don, you're killing me. I did very well. All right, cool. Excellent. Thank you for being a good sport, and thanks for the awesome coverage. Hopefully it'll go. Jeb willing. We'll suffer tomorrow. That's very much what's going to happen. Thanks, Don. I appreciate you, buddy. Wade Carpenter, $5 Canadian blank message. Thanks, Wade. We appreciate all you guys up there, up in the north there. Oh, we thank you very much. Thank you for giving us the money to get some Labatt Blue. We really appreciate you, guy.
Yeah, how close are you to Minnesota?
Oh yeah, they're kind of close to it, I think.
I will not even attempt. If I attempt, it's no.
Astro 95 medium.
About?
What's up?
It's like what you talking about? You hear to your rocket, eh?
Are you Scottish?
Yeah, that was very Scottish.
I can't push the engines anymore, Captain. If I push it anymore, the whole thing will blow.
Oh my god.
All right. Sorry. Astro 95 Media with a $10 super chat. I'm going to spend this on Whataburger. I was going to spend this on Whataburger today, but the boss just bought lunch for the office. So here you go, Flight 10. That's very humbling that you gave us your Whataburger money. That's good for you. I don't have Whataburger where I'm at, and I feel that pain every day. Flippers, $2 super chat. Hi.
We
What's
are
up,
seeing
Flip?
D leave now.
I see a car with pink on it. I wonder.
Yeah,
who that
there's a car with pink tape on it.
It's totally not D. Oh wait, yes it is.
So that's D also leaving Starbase. I believe that is the last crew member to leave. And with that, NSF can report Starbase clear.
Just a bunch of tankers still trying to offload everything. Well, it's only liquid oxygen and nitrogen at that offload point. The methane offload point is on the other side. Like, it's inside the launch facility. So.
Well, what you see right there is the finest of 2020 Toyota RAV4s. Look at that majestic creature drive down the road. Okay. I'm going to kill Adrian and Ryan, guys. They're like, what is he doing right now?
I'm at this point.
Propane accessories.
Yep. They're like, what is the dude? Who is this guy? And half the people in chat are like, is this person a nut bar? And the answer would be yes. All right.
Chat seems to be liking it.
Okay. Chat does seem to be liking it, but not as much as the next person we got teeing up here. Do we have another person in the call here?
I think that is the case.
No, he's dialing in. He hung up by accident. I'm gonna have him call the fax number. Don't worry, I'll patch the line in. It'll be good. Anyway, Rion's with a Red Team gifted membership. I appreciate it. Bruce T. Banana in the tailpipe for scale. Absolutely, you're not gonna fall for it, buddy. All right, Eric Spittle. Huge thanks to KMR for all his work. Don't thank him. Then he'll get emboldened. Don't do that. I guess if you must. All right. Peter Lair with the $6.22 super chat. Up in Schweizer francs. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
How's the weather? Should I stay awake for another night?
Oh no.
And I dare Adrian to say churchesly. German struggle with Swiss German words.
I would say I'm sure I will do it wrong because apparently Germans struggle with this, but I would say Chuchi Chestly?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Starship Troopers, $2 super chat. Service guaranteed citizenship. And we're doing our part here on NSF. Guys, we're doing our part here on NSF. The only good bug is a dead bug. Ask Jack. He's been dealing with bugs all morning. Johannes Herr with 6 euros there. Thank you, Johannes. Appreciate it. 9-8 Central here with a $2 super chat. Nice healthy Q. Like a bottle of water. Yep. Yeah, they say that like that, don't they? All right, Nerdy One with a 50 Romanian leu. Another currency coming at you. Godspeed, Flight 10. Actually praying for it to go well. Hey, you know what? If you want to go to a higher power to ask for some help, that'd be great. Anything to get this thing off the ground, that'd be good. If you got to do that, you got to do it. Shadow Bass, $2 super chat. Oh, takeoff, eh? Oh yeah, we're getting right towards that, bud. It's gonna be really good if those clouds don't come over and ruin our day. All right, we got Rion's again with. Oh, nope. I don't know what ZAR is. $2.83 super chat. Who's the best at camera tracking? Oh, I don't know. You're gonna start a flight with that one, Rion's.
It's South African rands.
Oh. All right. Rand.
Rands. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. So you threw me for a curveball there. There we go.
Got a sheriff there.
Oh, we got a sheriff at the roadblock. That is a good sign, guys. We got a start of the road closures here. So, Ryan, you want to explain why the sheriff being parked on the side of the road there next to that big dump truck is a good thing?
It means the road closure is set to start at 11, and it's 11:02, and with the sheriff there, and it looks like they were clearing the beach out by the roundabout. Looks like we're going to have beach closure and road closure starting any minute now, and it's a good sign because it means we're proceeding towards launch here. I mean, we're still counting down. We're still 7 hours, 27 minutes, and 18 seconds till the opening of the window, and it's a 1 hour window, but we're proceeding as tanker trucks continue to come in and top off, which I expect them to kind of continue to do for the next few hours. They showed yesterday that they can do that for a while. We'll see if they can top off enough and get enough propellant, and so they can attempt today. Cross your fingers. I think they'll have enough. They've had a lot of trucks come in. I haven't counted them, but they've definitely had a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going in and out there. But as we get to noontime here, Adrian, I think you're heading out. You got to get some rest for the mainstream in a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's that time again. You probably know the schedule at this point because
I think I got it memorized. Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
It's the thing. So yeah, I'm gonna head out and I leave you in very competent hands.
Okay, so with Adrian being out, Adrian, thank you for being on here. We appreciate it. And we have a substitute. We are substituting him with the Sultan of spreadsheets, the King of chopsticks, the Colossus of milk, Mr. Alex. Did you get your milk, man? That's important.
No, I did not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll probably go later in between Stakeout and launch stream. Yeah, I have already a set time for when I'm supposed to be here on commentary. So after my duty is done, then I'll probably go and grab some milk for my coffee. But yeah, I'm currently non-caffeinated. So yeah,
Oh,
I can
good.
do very crazy stuff.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Milk is the deal breaker between you having coffee and not having coffee?
I don't drink coffee without milk.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Even if that means being decaffeinated.
Yeah.
You are a trooper, my friend. Jeez. All right. Okay. Hey. Well, welcome, man. How you feeling today?
I'm a baby. I like sweet things.
All right.
So yeah.
Hey, you do you, man. Okay, me on the other hand, I have a caffeine IV drip over here, and I don't drink the coffee for the taste. I drink it because it has caffeine in it.
I was seeing here before that you guys were doing languages. Can I do Spanish?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier for me, I guess.
Sí. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
That's too simple, EJ. I could explain Raptor in Spanish.
Brother,
Nah.
I don't know any more Spanish.
Neither do I.
I mean, I could get around in Spain, but you know, people would immediately know, like, yeah, that guy's not from here. Yeah, he ain't from around here.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I was plowing through the support queue, but they seem very, very adamant about making my job a lot more difficult, which is fine. Which, guess what? We're going back to questions. How do you feel now, chat? All right, cool. Alex, you primed enough to start answering these people's questions?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got a question here from Kamiakin's View saying, do we know what effect the rain will have on the tiles? Could they absorb water and have a negative effect on reentry performance? That's a good question. That's a real good question. I like that one. Alex, this one's on you.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this very plainly. I have no idea. One of the things about the heat shield is that I don't have any expertise or anything. I know a lot of people compare it to the shuttle heat shield, right? But this has nothing to do with the heat shield on shuttle, other than some of the materials are common, but not everything, right? Even the way that it is attached to the vehicle is not the same. The layers, for example, that it is made out of, those tiles are different essentially than the ones on, like the composition of the tile on Starship changes with the depth. There's like a layer at the base of the tile that is different from the one at the top, that is the one sort of facing the plasma, so to speak, right? And so these are different ways of doing it in terms of the heat shield tile compared to how it was on shuttle. It did have also two different, like it also had two parts to the tile as well with different compositions, but the compositions here are even different. It's still ceramic, in the sense that it is not, ablative material. It is not something like phenolic or something like that, right?
Yep.
But it depends on which kind of ceramic, right? So that's essentially. So my whole answer to this, even though I already did a long Alex answer, is that I have no idea how they deal with that. Is it good? Is it bad? Doesn't seem like it matters that much, though, if they keep it out there, and whether they have any sort of coating or anything like that they have to reapply every single time. I guess we'll find out something like that once they start reusing these ships, right? But it will also be one of those things that, it's not too fully reusable, too rapidly reusable. I usually see those comments, and they are fair comments, to be fair. And there's a lot of things on this whole system that are not rapidly reusable at all, right? And they need to figure out how to make them rapidly reusable. That's the whole point of the program.
So yeah, they'll figure it out, guys. Just because it isn't reusable now doesn't mean they won't get it later. But you know, that's a good question. I think the context of Kamiakin's question there is, they had a lot of problems with the shuttle. And Alex, I know you said that they're not the same.
Yeah.
These are different tiles. The problems with the shuttle tiles was water intrusion. So the shuttle had silica-based tiles. They're basically like porous rock, like they glued a bunch of quartz to the bottom of this thing. I mean, it's not quartz, but quartz and limestone are very porous rocks, right? And that was their way of being able to dissipate the heat, right? But the problem is that these tiles were glued to the bottom of the shuttle. So way back in the day when Columbia rolled off the assembly line in I think it was August of '79, they flew it all the way over to Kennedy Space Center on the 747, right? Same one that they used for the approach and landing tests. They flew it there, they brought it to the Cape, and I'm fairly confident no one took into account that Florida is humid, and the humidity in Florida's atmosphere down the southeast part of the United States, the humidity was so bad that the tiles started absorbing water. And because the tiles were so porous, water would just stay trapped in there like a sponge almost. And the water is soluble to the glue that they used to glue the tiles on. So all the tiles fell off. That's fine. They never had any problems with that. So they had a big problem with water intrusion throughout the shuttle program. Even towards they ended up figuring out ways to get around it. The solution there was to re-inject the tiles with adhesive after the flights, right? That's why in the later part of the shuttle program, guys, you see tiles that have a red dot in the center, or just a dot in the center. That is where the re-injection application for the glue, that's the point of where they put glue back into the tile to get it to displace all the water out. There's actually plenty of good studies on this. So SpaceX isn't starting from nowhere with this. There's plenty of good research done during the shuttle program, and as a shuttle fan, I'm just bummed that all the research on reusable engines and tile protection systems has it's just like, yeah, we don't need that anymore. Let's just throw the engines in the ocean. It's fine, whatever. It's like kind of bumming. But Ryan, what's up?
Say, there's a reason why SpaceX has gone with pins for their tiles. For most of the ship.
They have mechanical.
Because it's mechanical. Water's not going to cause those tiles to come off because it's going to get rid of the adhesive. I mean, there's still some glued tiles on it. Like the very tip of the nose cone is still glued. There's a few places on the flaps that are glued, but pretty much just about most of it's pinned at this point. And then of course they have a gap. They're using felt for gap filler now rather than like RTV. And the system's become really, really good, and I cannot wait for them to actually get like a lot of good reentry data on it, and they refine this, because no one's ever made a heat shield that you could just go through reentry with, and with no refurbishment at all, launch it again and go right through reentry again. No one's ever done that before, and it's going to take a lot of work to come up with one that can do that. But I think SpaceX has got a good head start, because I just want to say this. There's no way, like, they definitely coordinated and talked with NASA on how to make a heat shield, because if there's any entity in the world that knew how to make tiles and whatnot, it's them. So I bet their engineers were like, yeah, maybe don't do glue or something like that and use pins instead.
I mean, with that being said, there seems to be some parts of these tiles that are glued. It's not just mechanical adhesion. So, I mean, I'm not.
There's a few.
Yeah, we're not sure how that's gonna all pan out. We'll see.
The tip of the nose cone is all glued. The very tip of it.
Yep. That is. I mean, the nose gonna get a little toasty up there. Anyway. Okay. Next question here. So, all right. Alex, I'm going to tee this one up for you. So this comes from B. Dean Cow. What's up, Dean? How are you? When is the next window after today? Asking for a friend. Oh, don't you put that doomer on us, man.
Should be tomorrow. Same window, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Central. And yeah, they don't have things like road closures or whatever. They can ask for those things. It's okay. Because I know some people are going to point that out in chat. So I'm already getting ahead of that. That's like the least of worries for SpaceX, asking for notices and things like that. It's usually rather simple. I mean, sort of, but it comes by really quickly.
It really does. Guys, what's our net time here? 7 hour, 15 minutes. If you So if you guys are here with us the whole day for the stakeout in the launch room, first of all, we appreciate it. We appreciate the watch time. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here and share this with you. Second of all, if you're here the whole day, you know that this day flies by. Before we know it, we're either going to have that thing that happens that begins with an S that I'm not going to say, or we're going to get a launch. It'll happen before you know it. You'll blink and it'll be like, okay, T minus 1 hour. It's like, wait, what? Where did those 5 hours go? That's weird. Okay. I did tee up a bunch of questions here about thermal protection systems if you guys want them. We seem to be talking about that, so I'm going to keep going with it. Okay. Elijah Summer, what's up, buddy? All right. Do you foresee Starship Forever replacing Falcon 9, or will there always be a market for it? I actually didn't tee that one up for thermal protection systems, but Ryan, do you think Starship will ever replace Falcon 9?
I think eventually the Falcon 9 gets retired. But to be honest, I mean, I don't think it's going to be for a while. It's a workhorse. It's a reliable rocket. It's a workhorse. It does a lot of different things. It launches Dragon, which is not replaceable with Starship. Having a smaller capsule to bring up like a smaller load of supplies, or just do a small crew rotation, is incredibly beneficial to smaller space stations that are going to get built in the future. Starship is pretty overkill for a lot of things. And it's just it might be a little bit easier to do with Falcon 9. I just think I think it'll stay around into the mid 2030s or late 2030s. I don't see SpaceX getting rid of it soon. It's far too valuable of a vehicle to keep flying. And, even if you do that, it's like, okay, well, if you retire Falcon 9, then it's what? Do you want to turn Slick 40 into Starship? And that would require a decent changeover and environmental and all this other stuff. Might as well just keep using it for Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I think Falcon's going to be here for a while. It's a really, really good capability, and we should not get rid of it unless we have something better. Right?
Shuttle tanker.
There's so many tankers there.
Jeez. Speaking of getting rid of things before we have a replacement, the shuttle tanker's there. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, that is. How many do we see in the picture right here? There's got to be,
one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a shuttle tanker being that 6, right?
Yep. I think
But
there's
there might
some
be
behind
more
it
to the
too.
right.
Yeah.
There's one part there.
Now, I'll be honest with you guys. We saw that tanker yesterday, the air gas one with the shuttle on it. I'm wondering if that's the same tanker or if air gas has multiple
Yeah, now
shuttle
they're
tankers.
arriving. That's a yellow plaque.
Let's.
That was oxygen, right?
Yep. That's 1073. Yep, that's LOX. The yellow placard. The yellow placard 1073 indicates LOX. Green placard at 1977 is nitrogen. And a red placard, I forget what methane is. It'd be a red placard. So if anybody's wondering, and if anybody likes trucks, I mean, Alex, I don't know if you know this from ATS or something. I know you said you play it, and that's a good game. Those are hazmat indicators, hazardous material indication placards. Those things are on the truck. They're basically there for firefighters to know what type of fire they're fighting against. Because if, God forbid, if the truck, got disabled or started leaking or crashed and a fire broke out, they would know what kind of fire you're fighting against, right? If it's nitrogen, right, you really just need to worry about asphyxiation because nitrogen is inert. I mean, we're breathing mostly nitrogen right now, but you need to have that oxygen. And if all that if a nitrogen truck leaks, it's going to leak nitrogen everywhere and saturate us with 100% nitrogen. You breathe that, you're not going to have a good day, right? So those are indicators there for emergency responders to know how to deal with what's going on. So we look at for us here on NSF, we look at the placards and we see what they're delivering. And as theorized by Adrian, we saw locks here. It's probably going to be locks and nitrogen.
Yep. That's all that parks here is locks and nitrogen. Methane does not park here and offload here. They park and offload. Yep. You basically have to go through the tanks on the tank farm to the other side near the tower, near Pad A's tower. There's an offload area for methane, and that's where that is.
Cool. And chat's telling me 1972 is methane. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew it. I forgot.
Oh, well, we go to the map. I was going to mention that they have 3 different companies out there delivering stuff. Like, they don't have just one company. They have 3 different ones. But map, yeah, there's... You can notice that Ryan Caden is producing this show.
Yeah, exactly. We know Ryan's here because he's like putting maps up on the screen without telling us.
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like there. I mean, obviously, you could tell from looking at the shot of the clouds. It looks like there are storms in the area, but hopefully they clear out. I mean, we do have the same kind of weather conditions as yesterday, but it's looking a little bit more prospective. It's looking a little better today. Let's say that because I don't know how to say this any clearer. That there are less clouds than yesterday. Does that make sense, guys? There are less clouds. There still are some there, and there's still lightning, and you got to worry about what's called surface electric field and anvil clouds, which are basically don't get your rocket struck by lightning, but they should be clearing out by the time the launch window opens. Anyway,
yeah, it's got nothing to do with the Roadrunner.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Unless it is Starship, I guess.
All right. I'm going to keep going through the questions queue here. We got a question from Patty, and these are the ones that I wanted to do talking about tiles because we kind of had a conversation going about that. All right. Why not use a huge heat shield and replace it after every flight? The heat shield can be worked and can be used again. Oh, who wants this one? Ryan, you want this one?
Sure. If you're talking about like one big piece, I mean, just think about how you would design that. Like how are you gonna what?
And transport it too, right? You're gonna move a Starship-sized heat shield around.
Like you're talking about a vehicle that's 50 meters tall or 52 meters tall, and 9 meters wide on just the tanks. That's not including the flaps, which also have to actuate. That's I don't know how you would even design such a thing, to be honest. And even if you did it in separate parts for the flaps, you're talking about the oven required to do such a thing is on the scale of what Boeing had to do as an autoclave for the 787 Dreamliner fuselage, which is one of the largest, I think is the largest autoclave in the world, if I remember correctly.
Remember when they were trying to do Starship out of carbon fiber?
Oh man, yeah, that was a thing.
They were going to rival that.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue. Sorry, it just came to my brain. So yeah, big heat shield means big curing facility for all that material, right? That's the whole point. Exactly. There's also the matter that a lot of people think that just having a big piece is easier for whatever reason. If that big piece breaks, it breaks the entire heat shield.
Mm-hmm.
If you have smaller tiles, like what they should do is not go with larger tiles. They're actually going the other way. Certain parts of the ship actually have smaller tiles than the rest of the ship. And that's going to be continuing into Block 3 as well. Because smaller tiles means if one breaks, it's just a smaller portion of the heat shield that breaks away or it's damaged or things like that, right? Like you have just a tinier gap there. And it's a lot easier to repair as well because it's a small tile. Anybody with a lift can go up and replace it and things like that. Like that sort of thing is a lot easier to repair, right? And it's true. It's really, it's a pain to install, yes. But once you install it, it's there, right? And yeah, maybe you have to replace one or two every now and then. But that's the whole point, right? Instead of having a big piece, which it might be as complicated as having to install thousands of little tiles, right? And if it breaks, and you have no heat shield, right? So that's, yeah. And it's probably a lot easier because it's bigger for it to break, right? So it's probably a lot easier for it to break.
Yep. I'm going to keep the thermal protection system questions coming here. Richard French is asking, are the tiles instrumented for wear or damage? I like this question. This is especially pertinent. Alex, you want this one, dude?
They do have sensors, and we always hear, well, when they actually go through reentry in the right orientation, we always hear things like temperatures are going down and things like that, right? Like they have their own instrumentation on where temperatures are rising and going down. They have cameras as well that can look at the whole of the vehicle from the inside and how that reentry plasma is affecting and things like that. They have instrumentation pretty much everywhere. I don't know if down to individual tiles. I assume the ones that they want to test specifically, like where they are missing, for example, where they have metallic tiles, they probably have instrumentation dedicated to those areas in particular. I'm not sure they have instrumentation for every single tile, of course, but at least for the important regions of the ship, they probably have instrumentation all over those places.
Cool. Yeah, they're definitely looking to get some data for it, right? They're jonesing for that heat shield data. The tile team's sitting there going, "Oh, come on, man, get one into space, please." Like
I want to see it work, and then I want to see like a massive patch of like metallic tiles on 38, or like instead of a single actively cooled tile, like if it works as they think it is, I want to see like a large patch of like actively cooled tiles, or a couple patches if it actually works out. I want to see that on like 38, like them. I want to see really interesting tile experiments. So please, 37, make it. I beg you, dude.
I want to see
what gods do we have to pray to for him to make it. Come on.
Jeb Kerman.
I want to see the metallic tiles because my gut feeling is that they're going to be using those on the sides of the vehicle. We can see here a great shot there of the side of the vehicle. You see that different type of black on the side. That is heat shield material, ablative material that they have added there because there's no tiles in that place. If they were to put, you can imagine this being caught on the chopsticks. Thanks, Signal. There we go. If you can imagine them catching this ship with the chopsticks, they will do the same thing as they do with the boosters, right? Even I think yesterday, Bill, the vice president of Starship Engineering, he was talking about how those chopsticks will slap the sides of the ship when they are catching it. You don't want any of these, ceramic tiles being there on those sides. So right now they have eliminated the tiles completely, and they have put the backup ablative material. But that is not, rapidly reusable. My gut feeling is that in the future, those sides are going to be covered in metallic tiles, which are tougher, and therefore, if the chopsticks hit the sides for catching, they'll probably survive. They'll probably be fine for a catch, right? But first, they need to get this ship through the reentry, need to test that a lot of the things that are on those sides can survive the reentry, and then they'll put the metallic shields, later down the line. That's how I feel it's going to go down the line with later ships. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and I think they'll probably be the hexagon type that they've currently got on it, but they're also doing a metallic tile on Booster's aft section for reentry purposes with Booster. So SpaceX is trying to do multiple different heat shield and heat shield designs on both vehicles. Because, I mean, as we've seen, Booster looks like one of those cigar glow or the glow sticks that you have in the older cars when it comes back. And SpaceX wants to try to eliminate a lot of that heating, or at least dissipate it better and have better materials, so it's a little bit more reusable, rather than what has been on current generation of boosters.
Oh boy, yeah, I really hope they get that tile stuff figured out, man. They really
a lot of work.
Yeah, but Ryan, you said it yourself a second ago. It comes from actually getting some data. We need that thing to get to the Indian Ocean, please.
Yeah.
Please. All right. Hey, yeah, we invited the TPS question. I said we're talking about thermal protection systems, so let's go. We got another question from Eric Jewett here. All right. Elon mentioned in chat the issue with not shearing off tiles on the ship catch. Any guess as to how they'll do that? Ooh, I like that one. Alex?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we were talking about, right? That when they go, you've seen it with the boosters, right? That's one of the advantages that we already have seen it with the boosters. When that booster comes in, the chopsticks, a lot of people are confused about how they actually catch because they think that the chopsticks just hug the vehicle, right? And that's how they keep it in place. They have little pins and then there's like rails on those chopsticks, and those pins sort of land on the rails. But before any of that happens, the chopsticks need to firmly, slap the sides of the vehicle so that it's centered in the right location. That's one of the things that they do at the end, right? And then the whole thing just slides down and lands on the arms. The ships will be no different. It's gonna be the same. And one of the things that he mentioned, and also Bill, the person that was next to him, part of the Starship engineering as well, was precisely that, once the ship comes into the tower and gets slapped by the chopsticks, you don't want to be, he used another term, but let's say liberating tiles. Because, yeah, it's probably too, but yeah, he just mentioned that, of course. So you don't want to be liberating the tiles as you're scraping down and landing on those landing rails, right? Not just the slap, but also sliding down onto those landing rails. It wouldn't be fun for that heat shield, and it needs to be reusable. So probably they'll put just some kind of metallic shields or anything like that, which is probably why they're testing those on this flight.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I want to talk more about tiles, but I've been told we have a special guest. Do we have Das on comms here? Das, are you out there at Margaritaville?
I don't know, EJ, can you hear me right now?
We can hear you 5x5. Chat, can you hear me?
Nice. No, we're over here on the South Padre Island side again. Little cloudy right now, but we've got lots of work to do. Everybody over here is working super hard to get all the equipment up on the roof again, and lots of stuff to carry up those stairs. It's super tough, actually. I'm really tired from yesterday. But anyways, that's sort of the plan here. We just have a lot of hard work to do at the Margaritaville, and figured I'd check in and see how y'all doing. How y'all doing?
Where is Das?
Wait a minute. Are you lounging around by the pool?
Wait, what? Is my camera on?
That's not allowed, Das.
Ryan,
That's not the
you're not
roof.
supposed to turn my camera on, dude. Seriously? How am I? There's so much. The roof is up there, though. Like, it's a long way to the roof, and there is equipment that needs to be carried up there. Our room is up there too, but figured we'd come out here and check the weather.
Yeah. You're just checking the weather. Yeah, I got you.
You gotta relax,
How y'all doing?
too. I mean,
I've been listening in on this stakeout. I can't read chat right now. My arm's going to get tired because I've been holding up my phone here listening to y'all talk about heat shield tiles for like 15 minutes. But how y'all doing?
We're doing just fine, dude. I think you might be doing better than us right now.
Yeah, you're doing great.
No, I'm not doing too great. The bar's like all the way over there. Where is the bar? See a little thatched roof over
Do they have
there?
SPL on, by the way?
Yes, they do.
They gotta have SPL on.
Yeah, they do. You can watch it. You can sit at the bar over there and you can have a drink or a snack and you can watch Starbase live on the monitor, and then the rocket would actually launch sort of this way. Like, I'm looking. If I didn't move and the launch happened, I would see the launch go through the palm trees up above the buildings here. So...
Oh.
Hawaiian T-shirt is there on purpose. You have that on purpose, don't you?
I got my NSF shirt. I got my Hawaiian shirt on. Like, I look like I'm supposed to hang out at the back. So flip-flops. My brother over here has on the NSF hat even. I don't know if y'all can see him over in the corner.
He also
there
wears hats?
Yeah. So we're a hat family. We're definitely a hat family. But no, up on the hotel balcony, We moved all the equipment outside because we have to deal with the condensation. Like the hotel room is air conditioned, and all the equipment gets really cold. And then when you bring it out into the humidity all conglomerates. It condenses on the outside of the equipment. So earlier this morning, we put all the equipment out on the balcony. We put plastic bags on it so it could get down to temperature, but it wouldn't get a lot of humidity on it. And then later, like 1 o'clock or so, we'll move it all up to the roof. We're on the 12th floor, so we just have one flight of stairs to go up to the roof. That we'll get everything deployed. When we deploy it, we're right up there about. The palm tree sort of blocking it, but what can you do? We'll get all the equipment up there and make sure that it's acclimated. It doesn't get a bunch of fog on the lens. Do it, Alex. Go ahead.
You still got 7 hours. Plenty of time, right?
Yeah, plenty of time. We got some breakfast. We got some coffee. Had a little snack this morning, but made sure we had SBL on the screens. Made sure the hotel front desk we have little cards that say like launch alert, info today, launch windows 6:30 to 7:30, blah blah blah. So we got that over there at the front desk, so people checking in know the status for today. I heard the weather report earlier, 75%. I mean, can y'all see? I mean, I can see the sun trying to burn through up there. There it is, right there. You can see the sun really trying to burn through. But it hasn't quite burned through yet. It's mostly cloudy. We've had some rainstorms and stuff like that. I love this. I'm just like, here you go. See back in there. I don't know if y'all can see, but there's a little bit of blue, but there's also a lot of big thunderstorm or thunderheads out there. So we'll see. It's early still. We'll see if this gets cleared up. But I did not mean to hijack your show. Sorry for the shaky camera here. But anyways, any questions about the amenities here?
You didn't mean to hijack the show, but you called us from the pool. You sure about that?
I mean, you sure about that? I want your show to continue on. I'm just here enjoying listening to the commentary, man. Let's not stress ourselves out or anything. Let's just take it easy. It's day 3, man. We're like sliding in now. We got it down to a process. Like we know all the lights need to get plugged in to work. We're good.
All right. Okay. All right. Das, do you want to answer a question from the question queue?
Sure. Ask me a question. If it's about palm trees or the hotel, I'll give it a good shot. If it's about Starship, I'll leave it to y'all.
Okay. All right. Let me pick one out here. Okay. All right. This is Nate. Nate Hotshot is asking, is the propellant in the delivery trucks cooled down or is it in gas form? I feel like this would be a good DOS question.
I mean, it's definitely going to be in liquid form because you wouldn't want to transport it in gaseous form because you couldn't carry as much, right? So if you just put a bunch of gas in there, the density of it will be lower and you won't be able to transport as much per tanker load. But I guess that's talking about the big ones, right? The big oxygen trucks and methane trucks and stuff like that. That's why sometimes when you see it, it's like LP gas, liquefied petroleum gas. It's not like they just, like a balloon, they put a little bit of gas in there and deliver it. Not a hotel-related question, but I think I can get that one.
Okay. All right. I got another one. I got another one for you. This is hotel-related questions.
All right,
Jenna Knight Todd is wondering if we're going to have launch day cheesecake.
Ooh, cheesecake is for closers, launchers. I think if we actually get a launch, then we will have a cheesecake party. But also, Das Mom brought us an entire carrot cake. So the crew here on the hotel side that has been working so hard at the hotel can partake in the carrot cake, which we have up in the room. We still have an awful lot of carrot cake up there. So I think we may kill off the carrot cake first. It's got this really good cheesecake icing, right? It's like maybe 75% carrot cake and then 25% cheesecake icing on top. And then when we're done with that, we'll move on to the cheesecake. Thanks for asking. I appreciate you looking out for our well-being.
Yeah, all good. All good. As we see one of those LOX trucks now empty, leaving the tank farm there.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Is there stuff happening at Starbase? It's tough to tell from here at the pool.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there might be a building in the way or two.
Oh, jeez. But
Okay,
no,
all right,
go ahead, GJ. Go.
All right. Ron Smith is asking, how are the cheeseburgers at the hotel? Would Jimmy Buffett approve?
In Paradise, you cannot go wrong with the cheeseburgers in Paradise. But actually, they have like a Hawaiian luau burger that's a burger with some barbecue sauce and a pineapple ring on it. It's really
I'm
free.
in.
You're like, oh man, pineapple on burgers? Like, let's not get into that debate. But it's really good. If you get, I think it's called a luau burger. It's Land Shark is the name of the restaurant. You go and you get a luau burger, and it's like the patty with the barbecue sauce and the pineapple. And for some reason, it works. You wouldn't think it would work, but it's really good. Margaret, you had fish and chips yesterday, didn't you? Were the fish and chips okay? The fish and chips were amazing. Here, give the thumbs up. There you go. Highly recommend the fish and chips as well. Anyways, yeah, I can talk about food all day long.
Cool. We got another question for you. This one is coming from Kevin Michael Reed, who's asking, when are you going to get back to work?
Kevin, I am working right now. I'm providing commentary on a live stream. This is hard work. Kevin Michael Reed, when are you going to come down here and be on the crew on site so you can learn about hard work in the field?
Ooh.
Don't you want to come on an NSF Adventure Vacation package here for Starship Flight 10?
All right, so Das, here's what we'll do. I'll get his rig up and running, and then he'll have to drive it down there to you. So
drive it down.
You know, yeah, it'll be great. It'll work.
Good deal. Anything else? I could take like one more question, then we maybe actually do need to go up to the room and find some lunch. I mean, get to work.
Yeah, no. Well, okay. We got one from Thumper Tom here, who is asking, how are the margaritas at Margaritaville? That's the last question for you.
That's a good question, but I will honestly say I have not had one. My wife and I came through here for vacation, like literally not to work at Starbase. But I was like, man, I always come through Margaritaville and I'm always working, and it's like work clothes, up to the roof, lugging gear, back down again. And I look down at the pool and I'm like, man, the pool looks nice right now. But I never have a chance to actually get in the pool. So earlier this summer, my wife and I came through for like 4 days and we're just like, nope, I'm not working. Don't tell the people at Starbase that I'm available to do anything. We're just going to chill out at Margaritaville. And they brought me one of them drinks like in a coconut, you know, the pool. So I think we had a pina colada and then another house drink that I can't name. But in vacation mode, hanging out at the pool, in the pool, drinking out of a coconut was quite a way to be here at South Padre. But if I were watching the launch, you really can't beat it because you can hang out here. You can swim up. Do they have a swim up bar, by the way? You can get food at the restaurant. You're just here all day chilling out. And then you're watching Next Space Flight or you're listening to the live stream and you're T-minus 15 minutes, you can literally walk 100 yards out onto the beach and you can see this thing go. You could even just sit right where I am right now and you'd see the thing go. So you really can't beat it. But when I'm working, can't comment on the margaritas because we've got camera equipment and we're on the roof and that's super serious mode. Having fun down here this morning. But when we launch it, or if you come out here on vacation, that thing I drank out of the coconut was pretty good.
There you go. Cool. Oh, yeah, we got a shot of the pool that Das is currently working next to. He's remote working.
I'm remote working. It's like, cover the camera up.
He's remote.
I need one of them AI backgrounds that makes it look like I'm in an office or something.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go get back to work. Go get lunch, back to work. No, work, right? That's what
DJ,
you're doing.
I think the way to say it is to go get to work, not back to work. It's not like I wouldn't say I was missing work, but we do want to make sure that we're fully prepared. Thank you, everybody. Did everybody get the reference? I heard 2 chuckles at least. We do need to get up there and make sure everything's good to go. Honestly, here on day 3, we're feeling pretty good because we've set up and taken down the equipment 2 times already. And so we've located all the cables. We've located all the batteries. We know where everything's supposed to go, and we're just good to go. We'll get it up on the roof. We'll check in with you from there and see you nerds later.
All right, man. Hey, one last thing. Is there any NSF coupons at Margaritaville to get special room rates?
We've talked about that. If that's something that people are really interested in, I'd love to see some feedback because I'd love to take it to the hotel and be like, hey, can we do special rates or something like that? I think one of the honest tricks is the hotel sells out fast, right? Like when it's launch time, It is the hotel. Like these rooms behind me, from the 5th floor to the 12th floor, those rooms facing south see Starship from your balcony. And those rooms go like crazy. Like as soon as a launch date is announced, the rooms just book out. So normally it's like, hey, you know, get a discount code to help the hotel fill some rooms when maybe the rooms aren't all filled up or something. But the rooms are in such high demand during launches. I don't know if they need a discount code to get any more people here, right? But it's something to think about. I'm interested if people would actually do that. And maybe it's really a thing like when it's not launch time, but you're coming through and you wanted to visit Starbase just when you can visit. I know people want to make it for a launch, but that's more likely like, oh, it's January and I'm going to go on a trip to the beach where it's not negative 20 degrees in North Dakota or whatever, right? Maybe something there is workable, but launch day, the rooms sell out so fast. I don't know if it would make like logistical financial sense, you know?
Yep. Cool. All right. We'll let you go.
Cool.
Get back to work.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you hanging out. We'll head back on up and we'll see y'all from the roof in just a little bit. Have a good show.
All right. And that was John Das Valdez Galloway, live from the Margaritaville pool. Working hard or hardly working? I'll let you guys decide. But as he heads out, I think my time with you guys here on the Stakeout stream has come to a close here. So I'm going to bid you adieu. And I think Chris B is going to take over. Chris, are you out there?
Yes, good day, EJ.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yes,
Hey.
Starship, third attempt. I wonder if it'll go this time. Third time's a charm. But thank you, EJ, for hosting. Yeah, we're going to go through as many questions as possible. This is a Stakeout stream. This is the pre-game show. This is where we just chat and watch Daz lounge by the pool.
I can't believe that. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. I was like, hang on a minute. This sounds like quite a nice little job because it is hard work out there. It really is. It's not the most forgiving of conditions, but I think Daz has found the sweet spot between work and the pool. I was desperately hoping we could ask Daz's brother about the TPS questions that have been coming in. Just to like, what? Huh? What? Hang on. I don't understand what I can do about that. But yes, flight 10, attempt 3. It is looking more promising on the weather side of things now today, so we are hopeful that this time round, especially with the bonus of yesterday being a wet dress rehearsal, that was actually my reply to the scrub, was at least I got a wet dress rehearsal out of it, and then Dan on the SpaceX webcast said we're transitioning to a wet dress, which was really interesting because that does mean they get value out of this by taking it down into the final seconds of the countdown. And actually pretending like it was going to go through to a launch without the actual engines firing up. That's useful data. So that gives me even more hope that if the weather behaves itself, that the launch systems and the ground systems are all in a very good configuration to allow for this launch. So I'm very hopeful about today, pending what the weather situation is going to be like around the window. I'm just seeing who we got on with us. We've got Alex and we've got Ryan. Yes, Alex, I've got a great question for you. And that is from MRM, who asked a question that probably a lot of people in chat were wondering, but didn't want to ask because they may have feared we've answered it already. But I was like, we're fine repeating this, especially for new people. Have watched you for years. Wonder what your thoughts are on today's flight plan. I'm out of the loop, need an update. So, Alex, would you just like to sort of like explain to maybe the new people especially what this vehicle is planning to do today?
Yeah, so it's gonna be very similar to the past flights. The booster will be doing its own ascent portion just as usual. Now the booster will be doing what they tried on Flight 9 on the previous flight. It's gonna do the directional flip. It's gonna flip up instead of any random direction, right? It's got these little vents on the hot staging ring sort of closed off for that. Then during landing burn, they're going to be doing sort of a simulation of of nominal scenario where they're going to be igniting 13 engines as usual on the 13 inner engines, right? Then one of the center 3 engines will be disabled, sort of as if, it suddenly shut down because they had an issue or something like that. And what they're going to be using is one of the center